Last Tuesday, my neighbor Martha, a vibrant 67-year-old, proudly showed me her grocery cart filled with healthy foods. Every single item had a bright green label saying all natural or heart healthy. 3 weeks later, her doctor told her she was pre-diabetic. Martha did everything right, or so she thought. And if you're over 60, you might be making the exact same mistakes she did. Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you could literally add years to your life. Listen, I know you're smart. You've lived 6 decades or more. You've raised families, built careers, survived recessions, and you certainly know how to read. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Food companies spend millions studying how to confuse shoppers, especially seniors. They know exactly which words trigger trust and which designs make you reach for their product instead of the competitors. And according to a 2024 study, 78% of seniors misinterpret at least 3 pieces of critical information on every single grocery trip. After 60, when your body processes nutrients differently, when medications interact with foods, when bone density and heart health are paramount, these aren't just shopping mistakes. They're health hazards hiding in plain sight. Trap number 1, the serving size illusion. Let me tell you about Frank, my 72-year-old friend who does everything by the book. He's meticulous, checks his blood pressure daily, takes his medications on time, and carefully watches his calorie intake. His afternoon snack? A box of low-calorie whole grain crackers. Bold letters on the front, only 100 calories. Frank thought he'd found the perfect guilt-free snack. For 8 months, he ate these crackers every single day while watching the evening news. But here's what Frank didn't notice. Those 100 calories were for just 6 crackers. A serving size so small it's almost laughable. Frank ate the entire sleeve, 18 crackers, thinking he was consuming 100 calories when he was actually consuming 300. That's an extra 200 calories daily. Over a year, that's enough to gain 20 pounds. And remember, after 60, our metabolism naturally slows by about 10% per decade. Your body doesn't burn calories it did at 40. Those hidden calories stick around. Here's your action step. Before you even look at calories, protein, or anything else, find servings per container. It's usually in small print. Take every number on that label and multiply it by the servings. That's the truth about what you're eating. Trap number 2, the sugar-free deception. My sister-in-law Barbara is 64 and managing type 2 diabetes. Her doctor told her to eliminate sugar, so she became vigilant. Every product in her cart proudly declared sugar-free on the front. Her favorite? Sugar-free yogurt cups. She ate one every morning for breakfast, feeling virtuous and healthy. 3 months later, her A1C test came back worse than before. She was devastated. "I did everything right," she told me through tears. So we investigated together. I picked up her yogurt and flipped to the ingredients list. There it was, clear as day. Maltodextrin, corn syrup solids, dextrose, and fruit juice concentrate. 4 different sugars with disguised names. You see, the FDA allows companies to claim sugar-free if they don't use table sugar or sucrose. But maltodextrin? It spikes blood sugar faster than actual sugar. Dextrose is literally glucose. Your body doesn't care what fancy name manufacturers use. It all becomes blood sugar, triggers insulin, and causes inflammation. That sugar-free yogurt had more sugar impact than the regular version. Check this. If any ingredient ends in "ose," contains the word syrup, or says juice concentrate, it's sugar, period. Your pancreas knows the truth even when the label lies. Trap number 3, the whole grain trap. Gloria is 68, active, health-conscious, and she'd just gotten scary cholesterol results from her annual physical. Her doctor said, "Eat more whole grains. They'll lower your cholesterol naturally." Gloria immediately switched everything. Whole grain bread, whole grain crackers, whole grain cereals. She felt great about her choices. 6 months later, her follow-up test showed her cholesterol had barely moved. She was confused and frustrated. She'd done exactly what her doctor recommended. So we looked at her whole grain bread together. The front of the package had a big golden wheat stalk and bold letters, "Made with whole grains." Sounds perfect, right? But ingredient number 1, the largest component of that bread, was enriched wheat flour. That's white flour with a couple of vitamins sprayed back in. The actual whole wheat flour was ingredient number 4, meaning it made up maybe 10 to 15% of the product. The rest? Refined carbs that your body treats like sugar. Here's the insider secret food companies don't want you to know. Made with whole grains is meaningless marketing speak. It could be 5% whole grain and 95% junk. What you need to see is 100% whole grain or 100% whole wheat, and the first ingredient must be whole wheat flour or whole grain oats. Nothing else counts. If enriched or refined appears in the first 3 ingredients, put it back on the shelf. Trap number 4, the low sodium lie. After 60, nearly 70% of us battle high blood pressure. It's the silent killer. No symptoms until suddenly you're facing a stroke or heart attack. My friend Robert, 71, took his diagnosis seriously. He started buying every product labeled low sodium: soups, sauces, canned vegetables, frozen dinners. He thought he was protecting his heart. But 6 weeks later, his ankles were swollen, his blood pressure monitor showed elevated readings, and he felt constantly bloated. What happened? Let's look at his favorite low-sodium chicken noodle soup. The front label proudly stated, "Low sodium, only 140 milligrams per serving." Sounds safe, right? But here's the deception. That can contained 2.5 servings. Who eats exactly 40% of a can of soup? Nobody. Frank ate the entire thing for lunch. That's 350 milligrams of sodium in one sitting. His daily limit is 1,500 milligrams, so 1 can of low-sodium soup consumed nearly 25% of his entire day's allowance. But it gets worse. When manufacturers remove salt, food tastes bland and cardboard-like, so they compensate by adding sugar, MSG, and artificial flavor enhancers. Robert's soup had 8 grams of added sugar per can. His blood pressure medication was fighting a losing battle against all that hidden sodium and sugar. Better strategy? Buy no salt added products, which truly have minimal sodium, then season them yourself with herbs, garlic, lemon juice, and spices. Your taste buds adapt within 2 weeks, and your blood pressure will thank you. Trap number 5, the all-natural nonsense. This one makes my blood boil because it's pure manipulation. You see all natural on a package and your brain automatically thinks wholesome, pure, straight from nature, healthy. It triggers trust. My own sister bought all natural granola bars for an entire year, giving them to her grandkids, believing she was making a nutritious choice. Then I visited and checked the label. Each bar contained 12 grams of sugar. That's 3 full teaspoons. Plus natural flavors, which can be any of 3,000 plus chemicals the FDA allows, organic cane syrup, sugar, and fruit juice concentrate. More sugar. Here's the truth that will shock you. The FDA does not regulate, define, or monitor the term natural. Zero oversight, none. A company can put all natural on rat poison if they want. There's no legal standard. That all-natural juice, loaded with 28 grams of sugar per bottle and preserved with citric acid derived in laboratories. That all-natural chicken nuggets, processed with sodium phosphates and natural flavoring extracted using chemical solvents. The meat might have come from chickens pumped with antibiotics their entire lives. It's all technically natural because there's no definition. Meanwhile, a fresh apple sitting in the produce section with no label is genuinely natural, packed with fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants. Stop letting marketing words make decisions for you. Instead, look at actual nutrients. How much fiber? How much protein? What vitamins are present? How much added sugar? Those numbers don't lie. Words do. Trap number 6, the percentage paralysis. You're standing in the cereal aisle, trying to be health conscious. You pick up a box that screams 25% daily value of vitamin D. Sounds impressive, right? You think, perfect, I need more vitamin D for my bones. But here's what they're not telling you. That daily value percentage is based on a generic 2,000 calorie diet designed for an average, moderately active adult. After 60, most of us only need 1,600 to 1,800 calories daily because our metabolism has slowed. Plus, our bodies don't absorb nutrients like they used to. Your stomach produces less acid, which means you extract less vitamin B12 from food. Your skin produces 75% less vitamin D from sunlight than it did at age 25. Many seniors take medications that actively deplete nutrients. Statins reduce CoQ10, diuretics flush out potassium and magnesium, acid reflux medications block calcium absorption. That 25% daily value might actually represent only 15% of what your aging body needs, and you might only absorb half of that. Plus, here's the insider rule most people don't know. 5% daily value or less means that food is low in that nutrient, not worth counting on. 20% or more means it's high, a significant source you can actually benefit from. That cereal with 25% vitamin D? Check the iron. If it says 4%, that's basically nothing for someone managing anemia. Use percentages as a rough starting point, but understand they weren't calculated with your 60-plus body in mind. Talk to your doctor about your specific needs, get blood work done annually, and adjust accordingly. Trap number 7, the calcium con. My friend Dorothy, 66, broke her wrist last winter slipping on ice. Minor fracture, but it scared her. Her bone density test showed early osteopenia. Her doctor said, get more calcium, at least 1,200 milligrams daily. Dorothy became obsessed. She bought calcium-fortified orange juice, calcium-enriched bread, calcium-added cereal, and took a calcium supplement every morning. She was determined to strengthen her bones. 4 months later, her follow-up scan showed minimal improvement, and she developed kidney stones for the first time in her life. What went wrong? Let's examine that orange juice. Yes, it contained 300 milligrams of calcium per glass, but what kind of calcium? The label revealed calcium carbonate. This is the cheapest, hardest to absorb form of calcium, essentially crushed limestone. Young bodies with strong stomach acid can break it down somewhat, but after 60, when stomach acid production drops by 30 to 40%, you're absorbing maybe 10 to 15% of that calcium carbonate. Most of it passes through your system unused, or worse, deposits in your kidneys or arteries. Plus, calcium without the right cofactors is useless or harmful. You need vitamin D3 to absorb calcium from your gut, vitamin K2 to direct it into bones instead of soft tissues, and magnesium to activate the enzymes that build bone. Dorothy's fortified juice had calcium and synthetic D2, less effective than D3, but 0 K2 and 0 magnesium. She was taking 1,200 milligrams daily, but effectively using maybe 150 milligrams. Better sources, calcium citrate in supplements, much better absorption. Plain yogurt, sardines with bones, dark leafy greens like collards and bok choy, and fortified foods that include D3, K2, and magnesium together. Your bones need a team of nutrients working together. Calcium alone is not enough. Trap number 8, the light illusion. My Aunt Margaret, elegant and health-conscious at 69, has cooked with light olive oil for 5 years. She bought it because she thought it was lower in calories and better for her heart. She used it generously in salads, for sautéing vegetables, drizzling over pasta, believing she was making the healthier choice compared to regular olive oil. Then, during a family dinner, I watched her pour it and mentioned, "That's great you're using olive oil for your heart." She said, "Oh yes, and the light version has fewer calories." I had to break the difficult news. Light olive oil has the exact same calories and the exact same fat content as regular olive oil. 120 calories per tablespoon, 14 grams of fat. Identical. Light refers only to the color and flavor. It's more refined, more processed, which strips away the golden color and peppery taste. In fact, the heavy processing removes beneficial polyphenols and antioxidants that make olive oil heart-healthy in the first place. So you're paying more money for an inferior product while thinking you're being virtuous. This trick works across dozens of products. Light mayonnaise replaces fat with water, modified food starch and extra sugar to maintain texture. Light butter is whipped with air and water. You're buying less actual butter at the same price. Light cream cheese? More air, more stabilizers, same calories per actual ounce of product. When you see light, ask yourself, light in what? Color? Texture? Flavor? Actual nutrition? Check the nutrition facts side by side with the regular version. Often you'll find identical calories, but more additives and chemicals. For cooking aisles, choose extra virgin for maximum nutrients. For other products, compare labels before assuming light means healthier.
Trap number 9, the heart healthy checkmark. You're trying to lower your cholesterol. Your cardiologist gave you a stern warning at your last visit. So you're being extra careful, reading every label, and suddenly you see it. A little red heart symbol on a cereal box with the words heart healthy underneath. Your brain says, my doctor would approve. This is safe. You put 3 boxes in your cart, feeling responsible and proactive about your cardiovascular health. But wait, who put that heart there? Was it the American Heart Association after rigorous testing? Was it an independent nutrition board? Or was it the manufacturer's marketing department using clip art? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of those heart symbols are self-awarded by food companies. There's no federal regulation requiring proof or testing. Even legitimate American Heart Association certification has controversial standards. That heart-healthy cereal Margaret bought, it qualified because it's low in saturated fat and cholesterol. Sounds good, right? But look closer. 15 grams of added sugar per serving. That's nearly 4 teaspoons of sugar. Your heart doesn't want that. Sugar increases triglycerides, promotes inflammation, and contributes to arterial plaque more than dietary cholesterol ever did. Plus, the cereal is made with refined grains that spike blood sugar. After 60, when insulin resistance increases and blood vessels lose elasticity, these blood sugar spikes are particularly damaging to cardiovascular health. What truly helps your heart? Foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids like wild salmon and walnuts, fiber above 5 grams per serving, potassium-rich foods like sweet potatoes and spinach, and antioxidants from berries and dark chocolate. Ignore the hearts on boxes. Read the actual nutrients. They tell the real story about whether your heart will benefit. Traps number 10, 11, and 12. These final 3 traps are interconnected, and once you understand them, you'll never be fooled again. Trap 10 is ignoring that ingredients are listed by weight, heaviest first. The first 3 ingredients typically make up 80 to 90% of the entire product. My father, sharp as a tack at 68, bought high-protein energy bars for months because the package screamed 20 grams of protein. But ingredient 1 was corn syrup, ingredient 2 was sugar, and ingredient 3 was rice flour. Protein powder was ingredient 5. He was essentially eating candy bars that happened to have some protein thrown in. Sugar overwhelmed any protein benefit. His blood sugar would spike, then crash an hour later, leaving him exhausted. Traps number 11 and 12, missing sugar, hiding under 61 different names. Food companies know consumers look for sugar in the ingredient list, so they use multiple types to keep each one lower on the list. That healthy granola Dorothy bought had honey, ingredient 3, brown rice syrup, ingredient 5, cane juice crystals, ingredient 6, and molasses, ingredient 8. Individually, none appeared in the top 2. Combined, the bar was 40% sugar by weight. Trap number 12, the pronounceability test that seniors often skip. If you can't pronounce an ingredient, would you cook with it at home? Would your grandmother recognize it? That matters. BHT, TBHQ, sodium benzoate, carrageenan, maltodextrin, disodium inosinate. These are preservatives, texturizers, and flavor enhancers created in laboratories. They extend shelf life and cut costs, but your 60-plus digestive system, already more sensitive and less efficient than it was decades ago, struggles to process them. Many cause inflammation, disrupt gut bacteria, or interact with medications. Your golden rule: read the first 5 ingredients on every package. If sugar, in any disguise, appears in the top 3, you're eating a sugar product. If you see more than 2 ingredients you can't pronounce, your body likely doesn't want it either. You made it, and now you're armed with the truth. You don't need to be perfect, but if you remember just 3 things: check serving sizes first, ignore front-of-package marketing, and read those first 5 ingredients, your magnificent 60-plus body deserves fuel, not deception. Which trap have you been falling for? Tell me in the comments. And if this helped you, share it with someone who needs it. Stay sharp, stay healthy. See you next time.